So when I was 19, I found my first mentor. At this time, I was making around £100 to £200 a month just from an internship. After working with him for over a year, I was making consistently around 5 to 10K every single month. Okay, so why mentorship? Why coaching? Why did I feel like I needed this person in my life to help me get to the next stage, right, in my life? Well, the truth is, so I left my job. I was in London, the city of dreams, as people call it. And I wanted to make this kind of website business work, but I didn't know business. I didn't know how to run a business. I actually didn't even know how to register my business on like Companies House, for example. So I felt like I needed someone a bit more experienced than me who could really show me the ropes. So this particular guy I found was actually 1 year younger than me. So at the time I was 19, he was 18, and he had a Facebook marketing business, but it seemed like he was doing well. He was doing around 10 or so K a month. So, you know, whether it was BS or not, I thought, you know what, this maybe is worth a shot. And I started working with him, and from there we started working together for around a year or so, on and off. But for me, it wasn't about, okay, how can I make my first 10K straight away? It was about, without me even realizing at the time, now I look back 5-6 years later, it was actually me unlocking a different mindset, a different headspace. Not only did we work with each other for about a year when I was 19, we actually reconnected 5 or 6 years later around this present moment, which again impacted my life in ways you can only imagine, but more on that later. At this time, I was running Built by Baines, the website agency I had. I was also running the affiliate marketing page I had, where I was obviously running the trading, if you've watched my previous video. And for me, having this coach, having this mentor, I just wanted to kind of unlock something that I never had before. And the truth is, I didn't really know what it was, but I had faith in myself and this mentor to maybe, over time, whether it took 3 months, 6 months, or a year, to figure that out for me. And it was figured out, right? So we're talking around a year or two later, every month just kind of like the kind of income was increasing month on month. And for someone that's 19, 20 years old at that age, it's kind of not normal, right? And I kind of got blind and numb to the sums of money that were kind of I was able to generate off my own back. Now, this wasn't a case of me having a team of 5 people, 10 people, and, you know, people overseas. This was just me, literally myself, every single day, every single month, working on whatever I was working on. If it was a website project, I was doing it. If it was, you know, affiliate marketing, I was doing it. I didn't want to outsource anything. So the fact that I was able to make that type of money and pretty much it be all profit was like mind blowing to me. But it definitely unlocked my my mind frame and mindset into thinking of, wow, you can literally achieve whatever you want to achieve. You just put your mind to it. And it sounds cliche because everyone says it, right? You probably see it on YouTube, on Instagram, like on Reels and these motivational kind of quotes. But the truth is, if you actually sit there and realize, wait, like where I am right now in this headspace, it's just like a temporary thing. What you want is gonna come. It's kind of almost like time is just catching up. So you might say, hey, you know what? I want to get this next year or this in the next 6 months. It's just a case of building your kind of mental brain to understand that that is possible. And that was like the biggest thing for me as to why I realized, shit, this is what people mean when they say invest in yourself. And, you know, I always used to think, actually, when people say invest in yourself, what the hell does that mean? Because it's true, what does it really mean? When you see on, like, you know, YouTube or on Instagram, you should be investing yourself every month, this and that, like, what does it really mean? It can mean a multitude of things, right? It can mean, you know, going to the gym. It could mean getting a mentor. It could mean just bettering yourself, whether it's kind of courses you watch online or it's kind of, you know, YouTube kind of lessons you watch online. It could be anything. But for me, investing in myself was investing in people that were better than me, investing in people that were cleverer than me and were making more money than me and almost just on a different level than me. So you have to kind of put your ego, your pride to a side and realize that you need people that are 10 steps ahead of you, absolutely lapping the hell out of you, because that is what's going to make you get hungry and make you kind of get that motivation, and not have motivation for 5 months and let it slip off, but almost motivation forever. Whether you slip off here and there, it's fine, it's normal, it's part of life. But the truth is, if you have that person or them people in your life, you'll never be able to get back to that kind of rut you were ever in. And that's why for me, mentorship has been so important, and also why we're doing this video today, right? Because I didn't feel like it was important. If I didn't feel like it made an impact in my life, I'm not gonna waste my time sitting here in front of a camera and wasting your guys' time watching the video. So for me, mentorship is super important. Fast forward 2-3 years, I've had the mentorship, I've done it. I've lost contact with this guy. At this point, I'm 22, 23, and the life was almost sweet, you know? Money was rolling in, the income wasn't really slowing down, but the direction wasn't there, right? I feel like sometimes you almost get things so quickly in your life that it's very hard to keep it. Although my mindset has been shifted and I'm not really going back to the old ways, it was easy enough to get complacent within, the income that was coming in, and almost it felt easy, I'll be honest. It wasn't really a challenge for me to do these months on a month-to-month basis because I got used to making this money. So I almost needed that calling of another mentorship or another coach, but it never struck to me in my head like, oh, that's what I needed. It's almost like when people go to therapy, right? People go to therapy to talk about their personal issues and all that stuff. This is how I would view a mentor, right? To me, a mentor is kind of almost like therapy, but in a business aspect and in a personal aspect, but mainly business, because I'm hiring or I'm paying someone, anywhere between 5,000 to 10,000 for a mentorship, and in return I'm probably going to get 3 to 5 times of information, whether that is in income or that is just in knowledge. So we'll fast forward to 22, 23. I got what I wanted out of this mentorship, and that relationship was done. The mindset was unlocked, the income was consistent, and as months and years went by, I tried different ventures, right? I was almost in that lost phase without realizing I'm in that lost phase, because I got all the information I wanted from this mentor and this coach, and I applied it all. And that's the most important thing. If you're gonna get a mentor or a coach, apply what they're telling you to do. If they're telling you to do X, Y, and Z, do exactly X, Y, and Z, because they know best. Whether they're 2 years, a year younger than you, they have the experience to get to that next stage in life. But the fall off for me was getting too comfortable with that stage in life and not then using that kind of, that power to progress forward year on year. And that's what I didn't do. So unfortunately, when I didn't do that, over time I realized that, okay, wow, like I'm kind of slowly going back in my own ways, and things had to change. So it was kind of almost a calling that things did have to change, and eventually they did. We'll fast forward to around 25, and at this point, present moment, this is where I wanted to start my next venture. And what I didn't know it was going to be was my venture that I'm going to have now for a very long time, and that is a creative marketing agency I have, which is Metrics Media. So I started this around end of 2022, and I guess it came at a time where I wanted to stop doing what I was doing with other endeavors and really focus on working on a business for myself, like I'd done in the past with Built by Bain, my website agency. I wanted that kind of buzz again. And I was on social media quite a lot, Twitter, LinkedIn, Instagram, but mainly Twitter was my biggest source of kind of information for news and business and everything. And I saw a lot of people getting into this space of marketing. TikTok just blew up. All of a sudden, it wasn't Facebook anymore. It wasn't Instagram or Facebook ads like I'd done in the past. It was TikTok and TikTok ads. Lockdown happened around this time, we were in the COVID period. So people's attention spans were going crazy, just scrolling through videos. I was like, wow, there's a market here that the majority of people haven't tapped into it yet. Now, because I was following people on Twitter, I followed like-minded people within the space that were able to kind of run their agency from 0 to almost 50K plus a month. And to me, again, a lot of people might not agree with me, but that was inspirational, that was motivational to understand, all right, this is very achievable. And one of these people had an agency that I felt weirdly connected to as like, yo, these guys are doing a really good job. They've been running for less than 12 months, and they've run up their company from 0 to 50K. And now it's not all about the income, it's not all about the money, but the truth is, you're running a business, let's be honest, you're trying to make money, right? You're not running a business for the shits and giggles. So the fact they were able to do this, and literally they've just come into this space as absolute newbies, who we were at that time at the end of 2022, they were also newbies in 2021. How have they done this? What do they do to get there? What case studies did they run? Were they running cold email? What were they doing to get them numbers? So this particular person, after 6 months of me kind of following him, I realized this was the same guy that mentored me 6 years ago. So 6 years ago, the same person that mentored me at 19 was the same person who's now got a whole new business model and now has run it up to crazy numbers. And it actually spun me for a couple of days of like, wait, nah, this can't be the right guy. And I'll throw up on the screen as well, actually, a few kind of WhatsApp screenshots when I realized, because I followed him on Twitter and through his socials, literally not knowing. Well, to me, it was just a random kid on the internet that I thought, oh, yeah, this guy's doing cool. This is a good kind of motivator to follow. But my brain just forgot that, yo, this is the same guy that mentored you at 19, that got you to them 10K months, that got you thinking, okay, you can do this. So I was like, whoa, this is like, it was insane to me. It's almost like everything happens for a reason, right? You know, when they say like kind of fate is a real thing, I was like another reason to be like, yo, this is insane. How have I just randomly spurred upon someone who I genuinely like, no BS, followed from the start of the journey? Like I'm talking when we started this creative agency and we're like, yo, this is what we want to do. This was the same motherfucker that I started following. And when I realized it was him, because he posted a tweet, and again I'll show on the screen, of his journey, and the tweet was his journey of when he started mentoring people at the age of 18. And once I realized that, I contacted him. We then both realized, wait, you're you, I'm you. It was like that Spider-Man meme. I was like, what the hell? Like, this is what's happening here. And then it was almost like a calling. It was like a calling from God to be like, yo, take this opportunity. So I done exactly that. I started chatting to him again. We reconnected online, understood a bit more about his business, understood where he was, and I wanted to tell him kind of where I was at my stage in my business. And this was around April 2023, so almost over a year ago now. And I said, cool, look, listen, I think it's time we run it up again, right? I think it's time we run up this mentorship. I haven't had mentorship for now 5 or 6 years, since the age of 19. So I think it just makes sense to maybe apply this same person to my business. Even more so, he was running a very similar business model to me. So it was like the best kind of opportunity for me to get from him. So I started mentoring with him around September last year. And that's when everything changed. So you know, when I talked about at 19, my mindset, my thinking and everything was just, I was a different person. I then became that different person again, right? I had no expectations of what could happen. I just knew, listen, look, I'm gonna pay this guy some money again. And I know what he'd done for me 5-6 years ago. So if my thinking and thoughts are right, by logic and by results, we're probably gonna do the same thing again, if not way better. We ended up having like a 75 times growth across the whole board in the agency, right? From revenues to kind of the people that were coming in. And that just all changed from just some person coming in and working with me on the business. So whilst I thought I knew what I was doing, I just didn't. And I was trying every day. I think that the biggest thing was we were getting the reps in every single day. We were doing cold email, we were reaching out to brands, we were even working for free, but it still wasn't working, it still wasn't sticking. So that kind of, again, that light bulb moment came when this guy came in, because we changed our pricing, we remodeled our whole business model. We used to do TikTok organic and now we do something completely different. We really worked out who our target audience was. We really worked out what their pain points were. Why can we and how can we be different to every other agency out there? And once we changed all them things and actually stripped everything back, like at this point when we had the mentorship, we weren't making no money. And I say that like, honestly, we were making zero every single month, because we just had a client leave, like not even leave, we just had a client pause their contract. So we had no income coming in. We also had no intention of bringing more clients in, because it's like, well, how can we bring brands in and we don't even know what the fuck we're trying to sell? We don't even know what we're trying to sell to them. We don't know what our business model is. We don't even know how much to price it. So we can't be lying to brands and saying, hey, yeah, come work with us when we're some new kid on the block. Like, we have all the experience, but it was like applying that, it just wasn't working. So for a good 3 or 4 months, we decided to kind of pause everything and strip back to the basics. Every single week we were getting on calls and just fine tuning every little bit. You know, that 1% really then accumulated to like 150%. That by the end of the year, by December 2023, we had the best month that we've ever had in the whole of 2023, and the best month we've ever had since the day we started the business. And I genuinely believe that came from the coaching and the mentorship. And although 90% of it is you applying that information yourself, and you know, you can get a mentor tomorrow, but it means jack shit if you don't apply what they're telling you to do. If you just want to hear someone tell you the good things and you want to hear someone kind of mollycoddle you, it ain't gonna work. You need someone that is gonna almost tell you, oh, you're doing this wrong. You need to kind of get yourself in this kind of mind frame and mindset, and you need to apply this and this. I remember the one thing he said to me, he goes, listen, just listen to what I say. Whatever I tell you to do and whatever way I say you need to do the business, just run it this way. So this was my own money, right? I believed so much in ourselves, in myself, in my partner, in our business, that I knew we can make it work. But we needed that person that was a way more experienced than us to get us to that next stage. And I believe until this day, if we didn't have that person in place at the time, you know, who knows where I would be. So we've got a long way to go within the business, and almost this is just a start. But I think an important reminder to everyone is, I've been at this for 16 months, 16 whole months to actually get to this point of things finally working. So this is not something that happened overnight. It's not something that happened in 1 month, 2 months, 3 months. Literally a year and a half of every single day, every single month chipping away at the little small things which eventually added up to the bigger wins. And by having a mentor, it kind of almost fast tracked these things, I'll be honest. Like without having the mentor, would I be in a position right now? I don't know. But having the mentors allowed me to fast track to the level we're at now and also be able to apply everything. And then again, being like an even bigger and better mindset and headspace in general. So anyway, thanks for watching, and please do let me know what you think of this video. This is the second video of the channel. Please watch my previous video, and that goes deeper into the story. So I wanted to keep this short today. And let me know what you think, and there'll be a lot more videos in the next coming months, weeks, etc. And don't forget to get the reps in.